Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being here. Today I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Guys, if you are struggling in trading, if you are new to trading, if you're new to the Strat or struggling with the Strat, this channel, and for you newcomers, this strategy is going to change the way that you guys trade in the market. But the first thing I need you to do is go down below, click that subscribe button, hit that bell. That bell is the important part. That bell gives you the notifications for when I send out videos just like this one every single day. This is our watch list for Tuesday, July 26th. And like I said, I send these videos out every single day. I also send out the top 5 plays every single day, weekly swings, monthly swings. I've got well over 200 videos to help you guys trade the Strat, to help trade profitably, consistently, trade confidently. Okay, I give you entries, I give you exits, I give you ideas on how to manage your trade, risk assessment, stop losses, the different setups that we look for on the Strat, the ones that you should be looking at if you're a newcomer, and everything that goes with it. Okay, so make sure you are hitting that bell and subscribing. We are going to change your trajectory on how you trade and how your account is doing. You can also follow me on Twitter at Mr. Clark Griswold. And guys, if you have questions, you can send them there. You can DM me there. You can tweet me there. You can put them in the comment section below. I will get back to you usually within the same day, okay? So don't feel bad or worried if you think it's a dumb or silly question. Just ask, okay? If you guys are learning, that's how you learn. You ask the questions, okay? A couple things here just before we jump into it. Number one, TradingView is the platform that we use here. That's how I chart. So tradingview.com. If you click on that link in the description below for TradingView, that link will give you a free 30-day trial. So don't go into the description, find the TradingView link, and click on that. You'll get a free 30-day trial on TradingView if you've never used it before. And then if you do decide to use it, you get up to $30 off of your subscription, okay? So use that link. Number two, the ads, and I know they suck and nobody likes the ads and they're annoying, but those ads keep this material free for everybody watching, okay? So I ask that you please let those things roll through. Go get a drink, go get a snack, come back, and we'll roll through these things. I know this video, the ads are already probably gone, but in future videos, if you guys do that, it's a big help. Like I said, it helps me. I spend a lot of time doing these videos for you guys, and it just helps to pay for some of my time doing this. So let's keep those ads rolling. We'll keep this stuff free. Keep the money, your money, in your pockets and in the stock market instead of having to pay for a Discord where I would have to keep all this stuff. Okay? And the last thing, we're going to go through it as we go through the list, is the Griswold Strat TradingView indicator. It can only be found on TradingView, but not in the indicator tab. If you guys want it, you have to click in the link. There's a link in the description below for the Griswold Strat indicator, or there's a link on my profile on Twitter. Okay, you click on that link, that'll give you access to purchase the indicator. It's $25. It's a one-time fee. You will have that thing for life. Okay, it gives you the time frame continuity indicator. Paints these inside bars yellow so they're super easy to see. Paints the outside bars white. Gives you these little IB tabs here. Paints the 3-1 setups gold. You'll see those as we move through here. Paints the double inside bars navy blue. It's got Sarah Strat Snipers 50% indicator included in it as well. So make sure you guys are getting this. It will help you in your trading, I promise. Okay, let's get to the list. Number one on the list, guys, is NEO. So NEO today opened up with a gapper down here, and we ended up green. So what we have here is a 2 down, but we finished green. So when we have those 2 downs that finish green, I find those more probable that they're going to trend up the following day. And it doesn't always happen. This can very well be a 2-2 continuation, but these are the kind of setups that I put on my watch list, okay? So currently we have the hourly, the daily, and the weekly all in the same direction, which is what we like to see. So if we trigger here at 1950 and we'll have that same thing. The hourly, the daily, and the weekly will all be green. But if we trigger to the downside, we'll have full time frame continuity to the downside on that 2-2 continuation right across the board, hourly right to the yearly. Okay, so we can look for our first targets at $20.78. Two things, we talked about this in a Google Meet today. If this gaps, let's say we gap above, okay? Let's say at 20 bucks. We open up at 20 bucks. So we open here. This trigger is basically nullified. So what we then look for is a gap play. And you can play the gaps on the 15 or the 30 minute. And basically you take the break of the first 15-minute candle. So if we open at 20 bucks and after the first 15-minute candle it breaks above that first 15 candle, you take calls. If it breaks below that first 15-minute candle, you're looking for puts, okay, on the 15-minute time frame, and you just mark your targets on that time frame, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. If it didn't, comment down below or DM me on Twitter. I'll help you out with that, okay? So first target's at 2078 for first order of magnitude pivot point, a bear stop loss, whatever you want to call it. That's the first target, and we just mark them at the top of the preceding wick. So here, here, and then the third one I've got marked here. That's very, very simple. Like the strat is. It is simple, okay? The candlesticks tell us what to do, when to do it, and where to do it. And it doesn't get any easier than that. SPY today. We had a SPY trade on the 15-minute bar based on time frame continuity. You can go check out that video that I did today based on that. And guys, in that video, I break down how to trade that play strictly on the 15-minute time frame, or getting in on the 15-minute time frame and then switching to the 5 to find where you should get out. So go check out that video. It's very important. It's very good, and it's not just for SPY. It works for any ticker, okay? But we broke it down with SPY. So on SPY, it's hard to see. I'm going to take these out for now, and then I'll put it back after. That's my 15-minute broadening formation that I had. So SPY currently has an inside bar. So the people that have been with me for a while, you guys know about inside bars. The brand new people who are maybe watching this video or these videos for the first or second time, inside bars, guys, they show consolidation within a stock, and they don't break the high of the previous candle and they don't break the low. They stay within the range, and it's painted yellow because of that Griswold Strat indicator. It does it for you guys, and it gives you these little IB tabs. So they're very, very easy to find when you're looking at your charts intraday or even at the end of the day trying to find setups. So inside bars, when you see these yellow bars, if you have the Griswold Strat indicator, when you see these yellow bars, I want you guys to think of a spring or like a jack-in-the-box that's just coiling and getting tight, 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 tight. And when you let go of that spring that you've been tightening and coiling, it gets ready to explode, and it explodes to one direction or the other, and that's what we look for off of inside bars. Okay, so if we go back in time on SPY, on the daily chart, and these inside bars work on any time frame. We played the one on the 15-minute today. You can scalp them on the 5 or the 3-minute. Play them however you'd like. It does not matter. Okay, I'm going to try and find one. So here we go. Inside bar break. We didn't quite hit targets, but this gapped up. So you would have had to have a gap play on this one, and then this one again, gap down, so another gap play. But you can see how they really run off of the breaks of those inside bars, okay, once we have them. I'm going to go back. They are very rare on SPY. I didn't really realize that. So this one ended up being an outside bar, didn't work. This one gap. So maybe that's something to look for as a commonality, a theme, that when we have those inside bars, we can prep ourselves for gaps, or it looks like outside bars are very common as well. So that would just mean if we break to one side, like we did here, to the downside, and we break through that 50% barrier, and you'll have that, the 50% marker on the daily, if you have the Griswold Strat indicator. If we break through that 50%, well, now we have a Sarah Strat Sniper 50% play. And here's another inside bar, breaks, hits the triggers, hits the targets, and then doesn't break anything above that. So we'll see how SPY, that's interesting that we went back and looked at that, and we see those outside bars and those gappers off of those inside bar days. So I'll be curious to see how we open on SPY tomorrow. Anyways, regardless, if we open inside of this inside bar, we can look for calls at 396.47 or puts at 393.21. We've got our targets marked accordingly. We are, guys, on the daily at the top of a broadening formation. As you can see here, we went lower low, higher high, lower low, higher high. Is this our reversal right here to bring it back down, or are we going to break through that thing again? And I talked about this all last week, these bars coming up to this broadening formation and then reversing. And we took a bunch of SPY trades on SPY the last week and then this week again. Okay, so we're going to move on here to TDOC, TeleDoc. TDOC has a 2 down that finished green. So that's what I was saying. We get these 2 downs, and when they finish green, the probabilities that they trend higher the following day are again higher. And we like to trade off of the probability of a trade working. So again, we have a 2 down, finish green, and we've got time frame continuity on our side outside of the year. Okay, so on a day trade, I like to see the hourly and the daily for sure. Then the weekly gives us even more confidence that that trade is going to be good for us and it's going to work out. And then everything after the month, quarterly, yearly, if those are in the same direction, that's just, it's a bonus. And when I say bonus, I just mean it's higher probability that that trade is going to work out in our favor. So on TDOC, 2 down, green, we're going to look for a 2 down, 2 up reversal. That's the other thing that the Griswold Strat gives you guys is these candlestick numbers, so you know exactly what the candle is that you're looking at if you are not sure of it yet. So triggers 42.75, first target at 44.45. American Airlines is up next, AAL, 2 down, finish green, and we've got what we call a hammer candle. So, and the fact that it's green, so a hammer candle is a bullish pattern, and the fact that it's green is even better for us. And I've been starting to call these things Thor hammers or whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Hammer candle, triggers at 1380, first target at 1428, and you see again, the time frame from the hourly to the quarterly are all on our side. So we'll see how AAL plays out. Airbnb, again, Thor hammer, hammer candle, time frame continuity, same thing. This would be a 3, 2 down, 2 up reversal, but still a 2-2 reversal in essence. It's just a different candle that's preceding it. And triggers at 105.23, targets at 110.10. AMD is up next. AMD, again, we have this Thor hammer candle. We can take calls at 87.55. The time frame on our side, I did not mark a target. We can do it together if you guys have your charts up with you. And I'll change that. And change it to green. And we are 90.69 is our first target on AMD. BAC is Bank of America. This one's a 2 up that finished red. So the opposite of what we've been seeing. We have a 2 up, finished red. We can look for puts at 33.44. First target at 33.09. The one thing I would look at is the top of this broadening formation. So you can see here we've gone lower lows to higher highs. And then we went a little bit lower, back to higher highs. Lower lows, came up, back down, and back to these higher highs. We'll see if we break through and tag and then come down, or if we're just going to break down from this point. The day and the week are red, so that is on our side for that. BIDU, same thing as we've had in the last few. 2 down, finish green. Time frame through the first 3, hourly, daily, weekly, are on our side. We can take triggers for calls at 142.54, first target at 144.15. And again, we have this inside, not again, but we have this inside bar on the weekly. So if we, I know this because I've got those 2 pink lines there that we did from our weekly video. And there it is, that inside bar. We're looking to break outside of this inside bar. So which way is it going to happen? We will see. Is it going to go up, or are we just going to have a 2-2 continuation and be 2 down on the week as well? This one's for CAT. I don't normally have this on here because the spreads are quite high on CAT, but we do have this inside bar on CAT, so we can look for calls at 182.60, puts at 177.77. The diamonds, DIA, Dow Jones Industrial, inside bar on DIA, so we can look for calls at 320.39, puts at 318.25, and guys, what do you notice right here? Okay, that's our broadening formation line. That's the bottom of our broadening formation. And we've got lower lows, higher highs. Back down to the lows, came up, back down to the lows, to higher highs. So we've tagged high, low, low. Where are we going from here? Are we breaking back to the upside, or are we going to trend down? See what happens on Tuesday. DKNG, DraftKings, inside bar. That's a tight little inside bar. It's actually a 3-1 setup, guys. So outside bar, inside bar. Remember I told you that it would highlight these in yellow? There's that big yellow highlighter marking off that outside bar to indicate we have a 3-1 setup. A very rare pattern. We'll go back through this chart and look to see the last time we had one. but calls at 1372, puts at 1322, and then again, we can mark out the targets together. Bottom of the preceding wick, 1. The next one would be there. Top is top of the preceding wick, like so. Now again, if we go back in time, and all we have to do is look for this little yellow highlight. Okay, so if we come back, and it's very rare, there's the blue highlight for the double inside bar. That's even a more rare pattern. There's another one, double inside bar. We have to go all the way back to December of 2021 to find the last time we had a 3-1 setup on DraftKings on the daily. So these plays, like inside bars in general, tend to be very, very profitable. And you can see what happens here off of this 3-1, outside bar, inside bar, and we just run it down. Triggered here, we hit targets 1, and then we ended up hitting target 2, but not till 1, 2, 3, 4 days later. And I don't expect you guys to stay in a trade that long if you're day trading, but this right here in general, guys, is a really, really great trade for a day trade, okay? So that is the play on DraftKings. We'll move on to Etsy. Etsy has a 2 down that finished green. So again, we'll look for this to reverse back to the upside. We've got time frame on our side. Calls at 97.79. First target at 102.23. So GME is not a setup per se on this. What I've kind of set up here is a broadening formation just to show you guys at how this thing works. So if you want to play the 2-2 continuation, you have that option here with the trigger at 33.25. But I wanted to show you how this stuff works, okay? So we have a lower low to a higher high, back to a lower low to a higher high, lower low, we come back up to a higher high but not tagging, back to a lower low, right up again to the high, and here we come back down. So that's why I put this on here for this 2-2 continuation. We'll see if we come back to this $28 range at some point. I don't know, but the broadening formation is telling us that that's what's going to happen. And that's why I left GME on there for you guys to take a peek at, and so we could go through it. Next up is GS. That's Goldman Sachs, has an inside bar on GS. So we can look for calls at 327.29, puts at 322.60. And if we go to the monthly, that's what that blue line is showing me there. This monthly, we currently have, where are we? That's actually an old monthly bar. So if we move that one to there, we are looking for an outside bar here, okay? So 2 and 2, 2, 3 is what this is probably going to end up being on the month. I think Goldman Sachs probably trends to the upside to become an outside bar on the monthly. IWM, also an inside bar, actually a 3-1 setup. Let's go back and look at the 3-1 setups on IWM. Okay, there's a couple here. We'll look at both of them. 3-1 setup, trigger, all the way down. That's a beautiful trade there on that 3-1 setup. Here's another one, outside bar, inside bar, bam, all the way down. Okay, didn't hit targets, but this is a really, really successful trade off of a 3-1 setup. That's rare and very, very powerful. Okay, so calls on this one at 180.92, puts at 178.42. We mark our targets very simply at the bottom or the top of the preceding wicks. Moderna is up next. mRNA, we've got a 2 down, finished green. We can look for calls at 167.27, puts at 171.14. And it looks, guys, if we trend up to the upside, we are going to look to break to become a 3 bar on the weekly. So I'll show you what I mean there. These pink lines represent the weekly. Inside bar, we've already broke to the downside, as you can see there. And if we switch to the weekly, again, if we trigger and hit targets, we are very close to becoming a 3 bar. So pay attention to that on Moderna. MS is Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley has a tight little inside bar. We can look for calls on Morgan Stanley at 83.16, puts at 82.12, and we've got the bottom target marked out, and we can mark out that top target together at 83.53. PayPal is next, guys. PayPal has a 2 down green. We can call that a hammer candle or a Thor candle. Time frame on our side, calls at 82.28. RBLX is Roblox 2 down green again. We're looking for a 3-2-2 reversal. Let's go check out that weekly. I see we broke to the downside on the weekly. The first green target. So if we hop back to the daily, our first target on this trade would give us a 3 bar on the week as well. So if this trade trends up and hits targets, we become 3 on the outside, or outside on the weekly. Twitter, TWTR. Twitter looks like we've got an inside bar there. Actually a 3-1 setup. So again, let's go back in time. There's the last 3-1 setup on Twitter for a nice run to the upside. If we try and find one more here, and then we'll talk about the triggers and targets. This ended up being a 3-1 into a double inside bar. Here's our last 3-1 that we'll look at. I'm going in the wrong direction. Go to the bottom. Or did it just gap down? There we go. 3-1 setup. We gapped, but it was a really nice run up off of that 3-1 setup. That is on Twitter. So we can look for calls at 39.60, puts at 38.73. It looks like we've already... If we go to the monthly, that's what those 2 blue lines are. We've triggered to the downside. Twitter is looking very close to getting an outside month on the monthly chart. Let's go to Walmart, and then we've got one more. So Walmart has an inside bar. We can take calls on Walmart at 132.67, puts at 131.45. Targets are marked for you. And the last one we've got here, guys, XLV. XLV with an inside bar as well. 130.73 for calls, puts at 129.80. Guys, that's the video. I wish you good luck trading on Tuesday. Make sure you're following on Twitter. If you have questions, ask them there or the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, and we will see you guys on the next one.